Emmy Hall with the Fast Lane car, and I am here at the 2015 Detroit Auto Show. Check out what I got behind me. It's this awesome new concept from Buick called the Avenir, and that is French for future. So what's it all about? We'll talk with some suits coming up next on the Fast Lane car. He is one of the designers on this car. Now, what's kind of interesting is that this car was actually a co-pro, if you will, between GM here in the States and GM in Australia, and you are an Aussie.
Yes, that's correct. I haven't heard the accent. I'm Australian.
I know, I'm really sorry, you guys, if I start to imitate his accent, because it's entirely possible. But what made you guys decide to design this concept car? Because it really is stunning.
Well, we're a global design organisation, so this car could have been done in any number of studios, but we happened to do a sketch that gained traction, and so we got the job. The brief initially was called Buick Flagship, so we're thinking about what's the ultimate expression of Buickness, if you will. A vehicle that has an impressive presence on the road, a confident stance, but above all, it's a beautiful vehicle. That's what a Buick, a premium Buick should be. Yeah.
Now, you guys took some design cues from some of the older Buicks, and that's especially noticeable here in the rear. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, there is a few nods to notable Buicks past. In the rear, specifically, it's a third-generation Riviera, notable for its boat tail. It's a very striking design. And you can see that in the Avenir with the integration of the coupe roof upper into this boat tail deck lid. And what that gives you is a four-door sedan format with a fast coupe profile.
Rob,
yes.
This is a beautiful car. What can you tell me about what might possibly be under the hood if this were to get produced?
Well, this is a concept vehicle.
Right.
However, there's a lot of cues in here that we are looking at for how do we apply this to some of our future brands. We're on, our product cycle is going to start getting rejuvenated here very shortly. So what we have here is really a kind of a test bed for us to try and to see what consumers and the media and people like about this car, and how can we apply that to some of our future vehicles. In fact, this car right here was designed in a studio right next door to our advanced design studio. So the idea sharing has already been taking place.
Okay.
So from a propulsion perspective, this car is a 3.6 liter engine with active fuel management, stop-start technology. I think you see some of the core things that make a Buick.
V6?
Right? V6.
And I did see that there was a tunnel going into the back, so I can only assume rear-wheel drive?
Correct. It's all-wheel drive.
Oh, all-wheel drive?
Yes.
Fantastic. That's almost even better.
Yes. So, but some of the tenets of what makes a Buick, right? It's beauty, it's comfort, it's quiet, and it's a ride and performance that is both enthusiastic for the driver, but creates a sense of well-being and sense of security for the people that are inside the car. A Buick owner is somebody who is just as excited to be behind the wheel as to make sure that the people that are inside the car are happy as well.
Right.
It's a little bit of a different characteristics. There's other brands where it's all about the driver. Buick's all about the passenger. And I think you'll see in this particular vehicle, all four of those pillars are here. It's a beautiful vehicle. On the inside, I think you see the interior. You can see some of the global attributes in the back seat. You know, China is a very large market for Buick.
Right.
And in China, the back seat is one of the big selling. Right. So the comfort of the passengers in the back seat. You get beautiful space in the back. Very quiet. And then the ride and performance, things that hopefully we'll get a chance to experience that with us. Waldmeyer.
She is the color and trim manager at Buick, and we're going to talk a little bit about this interior because I feel like I'm in like a 1930s Art Deco extravaganza. It is beautiful.
So behind the Avenir's inspiration is, again, playing off those cues of the sculptural interior, that we really wanted to select material choices that really worked in harmonizing with the rest of the interior. Again, you can see our overall color palette is very light, very airy and soft feeling. And again, that speaks back to that comfort of Buick. A great part about the vehicle interior is this deco portion that you see here. And it was actually inspired by the way that the ocean meets the shoreline. And as you get away from the ocean, you get a lot of depth as it drops off. And so this material, even though you can see a lot of dimensional surfaces, is actually, the pattern is etched on the back side of it. So you get this 3D quality where you get a lot of movement, but it also works very well with this very honed, open finish of real wood that we have here.
Yeah, you know, when I saw this, when I was walking outside the car, it really caught my eye. This is just, it's so beautiful right in here. I love it.
It has a lot of depth and movement and from different angles, but again, talking about that sculptural, that movement, we also incorporated those details into the seats. You can see here these lines of stitching, but it's also in the headlamps and the tail lamps of the exterior too. So again, really harmonizing with that sculptural interior, and you've got this very inviting, comforting interior.
So what was your favorite part of designing this?
Favorite part of designing? The whole project was a pleasure. Working with many talented people within the team, and also coordinating with designers here in North America was definitely the most, for me, I really enjoyed that.
Even though you guys were on such different time zones, and it's like you guys are up at 2 o'clock in the morning to have that meeting.
So I think about 5 p.m. here, it's 7 a.m. back home.
Oh, so that's not too bad.
We get on the phone and yeah.
And how long did it take you all to come up with this finalized design?
How long? This initial sketch has been around for a little while, but once the project was green-lit, I was quite late, and this was a tight program. It was about 6 months, and it took a lot of elbow grease. I mean, there's a lot of polished aluminum on this car, and the end result of that was people who normally do studio engineering or digital sculpting were persuaded to polish aluminum to a bright finish. So at one point we had a table set up in our design studio, and 5 or 6 creative designers sitting around like a knitting circle polishing specifically the inserts on the wheels, the black flag shape inserts, and it was quite therapeutic, really.
Now, have you been surprised by people's reaction to this? Because everything that I've read so far, and I mean, it's only been revealed for less than 24 hours, everyone just says it's absolutely amazing. It's kind of the car that maybe brings it to a younger generation. I mean, have you been surprised by that, or were you like, yeah, I knew that was going to happen?
That's what we're aiming for, but it's always, a surprise when something is received so warmly, and it makes me proud of what the team's achieved here, and it's a wonderful thing, yes.
So, do you think maybe that it will go into production?
Well, I'd like it to go into production, but I honestly don't know the answer to that question. I swear.
It's so hard with. I mean, do you find that as a designer, you put all your heart and soul into a concept vehicle, and then it never gets produced, or it gets changed substantially? Honestly,
it's just great that it left the building. We do a lot of work for internal purposes, vision models, things like that all the time, and they never see the light of day. So when something goes beyond the doors of General Motors, it's a good day.
Now, when you guys were picking colors for the interior, did you always know that you wanted to go with a light palette, or were you thinking, maybe some things that are a little bit more contrasting?
This is a departure from what you typically see in our Buicks today. A lot of our customers really appreciate having color choices in their vehicles, and so you see a lot of rich, saturated colors, those saddle types of colors. So when we were working on it as looking for the future of Buick, we wanted something that was a little bit different than what we do today. And speaking about this vehicle being named Avenir, and being about the future, this is a color palette that we wanted to explore for Buick, something a little bit different.
I love it. I mean, I love that you've got some contrasting here, but everything is all within the same value. Even though the wood is a little bit darker, it's still the same value, and it just gives the whole thing, the whole cabin, a level of sophistication that is just, it's really fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so a lot of the detail, again, as we finished it, allowing the polished aluminum parts to be the jewelry of the interior, and you see that on the exterior too also.
Yes, Warwick was telling us that they had designers just polishing aluminum in the studio.
Yes, the detail that went into this, and these surfaces and how the fit and finish and how everything was created, it's really beautiful, very much like a sculpture.
I've been hearing rumors that if this were to be produced, it would be a 9-speed automatic transmission.
That I don't know. I apologize. I don't have the exact powertrain details. I do know the engine's a 3.6 liter V6 engine. So.
Now, does this share its platform with any of the other Buicks that are currently available?
Not currently with any of the Buicks. It does share. It is off of the Omega platform, which is kind of a unique platform. There's only one unit out there right now, and that is the CT6.
So when will we find out if this car is going to make it into production?
Well, I think there's a little bit of time, and we're going to probably go through the auto show circuits and start getting a lot of feedback from people, and so far the feedback's been very good.
So maybe next year at this time we might know of whether or not this guy is going to race our driveways.
Right now, I mean, the intention is to be a concept, but again, you might see other vehicles that come out that share a lot of the look and experiential feel of this vehicle, and you might say, I saw that first here with the Avenir concept.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
This is Emmy Hall reporting for TFLcar.com. Hey, go to our website for more news, views, and real-world reviews, and you can find us on all of those social media thingies. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon. Bye. Look at those LEDs right there. I can check my nails as I open the door. Whoa, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, this is actually a significant part of the design too. See, everything's presented in brushed aluminum. Yeah. That's very hard to do.
I bet it is.
I tell you, it's very hard to do. But the presentation is amazing. Billet hinges. It just takes the execution of that next level, and for a vehicle like that, it's all about execution.
I had put up a close-up of this up on my Facebook page, and I asked my fans, hey, what brand of car do you think this is? I got all over the map. I got Chrysler, I got Acura, I got Kia, I got, and some people knew, some people were able to guess Buick, but I mean, it really was all over the map.